If you are a Floridian, this one is for you. I need you to recognize that your Surgeon General, this guy right here, is essentially a bought and paid for pawn who is being used for his credentials so that he can spout nonsense and people will believe it. The Florida Surgeon General, Ladapo, is a well-known vaccine skeptic who has manipulated studies. Politico revealed that Ladapo personally altered a state study to imply that the vaccines pose a health risk to young men, in his effort to try and highlight that the COVID vaccines are dangerous for young men. To be clear, the COVID vaccines are not dangerous for young men. What we've seen in numerous studies, this is my personal side, what we've seen in numerous studies is that for some young men it can increase your blood pressure, and this will stabilize within a couple of days after receiving the vaccine. So if you are a young male that has underlying health issues for heart health, and your blood pressure is raised, it can exacerbate any heart problems. But note, this is an if-and statement. Both criteria have to be true for this to become a problem, which is much different than what the Florida Surgeon General tried to state and, again, manipulated data from a state-sponsored study to try and prove that. Where Daniel Selman, a director of the Institute of Vaccine Safety at Johns Hopkins, said Wednesday that it appeared that Ladapo and others at the roundtable in Florida were selectively highlighting data to show problems with the new boosters. Where he says, in general, they're cherry-picking data and facts and science. And I think that they're there because they don't want to recommend this vaccine for Florida. And while Ladapo is saying that anyone 65 and under doesn't need the vaccine, there are indeed plenty of credible studies showing that healthy people under the age of 65 are still at risk of death from COVID, not to mention disability. So ultimately, you should get the vaccine. Do not listen to the Surgeon General. That person is problematic and should not be in the position that he is in. The vaccines are safe and they should be taken.